Yeah, my name is Nekwe Obasoge. We are here today to discuss Ondo State election. It's just 6 days before the actual election in Ondo State. I have with me in the studio today former member of the House of Representatives, Mark Adeniyi Omogbehin. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Neighbor TV.
Good evening, good afternoon from Canada. Thank you for joining us today from Ondo State, Akure. You are in Akure, right?
Yes, I'm in Akure.
Okay, sir. Thank you for joining us. The Ondo State election is just 6 days from now. So, what is going on right now? Can you tell us a little bit about the political climate of the state right now in Ondo State?
Well, right now, since yesterday, there have been pockets of violence in the
Oh,
state capital of Akure. Before then, last week precisely, there was also reported violence in the northern senatorial district, and this is not a very good omen for this election. We've had our bad experience before in this state,
mm,
and we are all very apprehensive. We don't want a repeat of the same situation that had happened before. It was a
mm,
very bitter experience for us. So we are praying that God will take control and that the security agencies will play their role uh, impartially to
mm,
make sure that peace is restored before the election on Saturday.
mm. So, what happened in the past election in Ondo State? What happened?
It's a very bad experience. You will recall that such tensions we last felt in 1983 election. It was a
Mm,
bloodbath in Ondo State, and we had a very nasty experience. We lost some of our prominent sons. We lost properties. We lost assets, and ever since then, we have never experienced the magnitude of violence that is surfacing again. Some few weeks, and lately, yesterday and today.
mhm. So, what about the federal government? Because we just experienced similar situation in Edo State, but the election, the actual election there was peaceful. But right now, is there any federal might in the state? Because you know that the APC is the ruling party in Ondo State. I mean, hello, sir.
As this, as at this moment that I am talking with you,
Mm,
I have no reasons and I have no evidence
mm,
that there is any
federal.
uh, federal government mind.
Mm,
And so far, so good. The police are stepping in. They are coming. I learned a few arrests has been made,
mm.
and I sincerely believe and hope that peace will be restored.
Okay.
But to be sincere, as I'm talking to you now, I have not noticed any federal might.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Right now, according to my understanding, the deputy governor of Ondo State is still the active deputy governor of the state, but he's currently running under another political party. Got his ticket and is running for the governorship election while he's still maintaining his position as the deputy governor of Ondo State. Don't you think that will contradict his membership under the Zenith Labour Party that he just got a ticket from?
Well, the deputy governor has operated within the confine of the constitutions of Federal Republic of Nigeria. There have been an arm twisting, there have been an attempt to remove him illegally through the state assembly that failed. So, within the confine of the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
Mm.
the deputy governor is is uh, is operating properly. He's okay, and he has not contravened any law. He has
Oh,
the right,
mm.
freedom of association, and that is exactly what he's enjoying. That is what he's so the governor of the state, and
Okay.
that is exactly. These
Okay.
are rights that are within his fundamental human rights.
Oh, okay. Do you mean that under the constitution, he has the right to maintain power in two political parties at the same time? Because right now
Not
he is the candidate, governorship candidate under the Senate Labour Party, while
so
he's still
far.
maintaining his
Not,
position as the deputy under the APC. That's what I'm trying to point out.
yes, yes. Like I told you, he can. They don't forget that they are enjoying a joint ticket. He can only be removed by a two-third majority of the 26-man members of the state assembly.
Okay.
That has not been put.
Okay, so it's like is getting support from majority of the members of the House of Assembly, so they can't impeach him right now, right?
Not outright majority, but we are aware that
Mm,
the governor and his team
mm,
have not been able to muster enough membership of the House of Assembly to be able to remove him. An
okay.
attempt was made
Mm,
to illegally remove him. The judiciary intervened and said that they did not meet the constitutional requirement. And so he continues to be the deputy governor of Ondo State.
interesting. So this election right now, who is the most popular candidate out of the three, APC, PDP, and the Zenith Labour Party? Because we have Jegede, we have Ajayi, and the incumbent governor of the state, Akeredolu himself, who is the most popular candidate right now in Ondo State out of these three candidates.
Well, I can tell you straightforward that the governor has become very unpopular.
Mm,
Um, if he were popular and he was acceptable, his deputy governor wouldn't have abandoned him.
mm,
His SSG abandoned him. The deputy speaker of the House has also said he is not a good team player. Many of his SSA senior special assistant, many of his SA has resigned, and that should just tell you that he's not popular. Right
mm,
now, if we have a free and fair election, I have no doubt in my mind that Governor Akeredolu will be sacked. He will be voted out of office. And that is why I am calling on you and calling on the international community to please focus on the election that we hold on Saturday, uh, because we don't want any problem. We don't want anybody to use, as you rightly say, any power or any federal might
mm.
to rig the election or to suppress the populace from
So,
expressing their freedom to vote in a free and fair election.
hmm, interesting, interesting. So, right now, the INEC, because people are expecting INEC to also use the same template with the Edo State election. Are you people expecting the same policy, the same template of Edo State in Ondo?
Absolutely. What happened some few weeks ago in
Uh,
Edo,
mm,
you will agree with me, has actually raised the profile of the country. And
yes.
that is exactly we as indigenous of Ondo states expect that must be replicated here in Ondo State.
Ondo State.
Uh, and as you can see, because of the fairness of that election, there was no quarrel, there was no riot anywhere, and the winner was congratulated, and the loser actually invited Governor Baseki to come back to the
Yeah.
APC, which I believe you know is
Yes.
already late as of
Yeah.
this moment. So yes, we expect that the level playing ground and the violence-free that we witnessed a few weeks back in Edo
Mm.
should be replicated in.
No, no, no. So our Oba, the Oba of Benin, played a major role in maintaining peace in the state. Is there any traditional ruler in Ondo State also intervening in this issue of lack of security in the state right now? Because we have it in the history of Nigeria that elections are not always peaceful. To be honest, elections in Nigeria are not always peaceful. So is there any intervention of international community, traditional rulers, like the religious rulers, leaders in the state right now that are trying to maintain peace so that this upcoming election will be peaceful? Federal might will not come and consume the power of the masses and other minority a kind of other smaller political parties in the state.
Unfortunately, unlike Edo State,
Mm,
we do not have a central figure like the Omonoba in Ondo State that can control the type of power, the type of loyalty that he enjoys in Ondo State. But I must tell you that a lot of NGOs have come together,
mm,
a lot of religious leaders have come together to plead uh, with us, to plead with every indigenous of this state to maintain peace. I think, yes, we have seen some few things like that. But it's unfortunately that in Ondo State, we don't have a central figure like the Omonoba Ukwa Kolokolo of Benin.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though there's no central figure like that, at least you guys have religious leaders in the state, churches, Muslim, Imam, all of them. They can also impact this upcoming election
That,
because.
that, is exactly, that is exactly what I've just told you. The
Mm,
religious leaders are doing their best, both in the
mm,
churches and the Muslim.
mm,
And the traditional leaders do in their different domains are actually intervening.
mm,
Uh, but like I said,
mm,
we don't have a central figure that can do what Omonoba did by inviting the two prominent gladiators and
mm,
getting them to sign a memorandum and
mm,
abide by it. We don't have such thing. But
mm,
individually, in their
mm,
respective domain, they are doing very well. They have been trying. We do not expect the traditional rulers to get involved in politics, but as our traditional fathers, they can only appeal to us, the politicians, to maintain peace. And I sincerely hope that we,
mm,
as the gladiators of the field, will listen to this wise counsel and allow Ondo State to have a free and fair election come on Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. Okay, my big question here is to the deputy, okay, who is running under the Zenith Labour Party. Is that party strong enough to compete with APC and PDP in Ondo State?
Well, to answer your question, on the 10th, by this time of next week, Saturday,
Mm,
Finland was beginning to fill in. But so far, so good on the field. He has shown clearly that he's a grass rooter, that he is a very well-grounded politician in this state. Don't forget that His Excellency Gola
mm,
was once a councillor. He was once a supervisory councillor. He was a local government chairman. He was a member of the National Assembly. As a matter of fact, he was the chairman committee on Niger Delta. And now he is the deputy governor of Ondo State. He
okay.
has paid his dues and he is on ground.
Mm,
I have no doubt in my mind that he has the capability, bearing all odds, and the level playing ground is provided to slug it out. I have no doubt in my mind that he will come out victorious in this election on Saturday.
okay. According to my understanding, because yesterday I interviewed Mr. Jaff here in Canada, he told me that according to the rotational leadership in Ondo State, it is the time of the South. I'm not sure of the district to produce governor in the state, of which Jaye is from that same district in Ondo State. So, do you think that will give him
Absolutely.
a little bit of
I, I,
edge?
I am talking to you
Mm,
as also an indigene of the Southern Senatorial District. There is this general belief, and we
mm,
believe
mm,
that is actually our turn to produce the next governor. Particularly that the incumbent,
mm,
who ordinarily should have taken exercised his constitutional right to a second time, has underperformed. We have never had it this poor. We have never had it this bad in his human relationship. He has been reported. He has been said that he is the bully, and there are records and issues on ground to show that he has been bullying his way around. It must be interesting to you that if you were a very good leader, his deputy shouldn't have abandoned him. His SSG shouldn't have resigned, and many other members of his cabinets who served with him as SSA and SAs have resigned. So the market women are not having it funny. The Okada riders, that is our major source of income in Nigeria today, for the peasant people, they are not having it funny. So many things have happened under this government that is unusual to us, that is unknown to us. He has also been alleged to have actually been running a familitocracy, that is government within his family. And
Yes.
it is also reported that he has been giving contracts only to his immediate families, his in-laws. And so the politicians generally are not very happy with the situation on ground. And I want to tell you that we, the people of the Southern Senatorial District, has been shortchanged. We don't have electricity, though he inherited it. We expected that by now he should have done something about it. When I was in the House of Representatives, I made a lot of moves. Recently, I wrote him a public memo where I asked him, that particularly in the month of May, I asked him to intervene. We cannot be in the middle of water and don't have water to drink. You will, I want you to understand that we have a major plant, electricity plant in Southern Senatorial District. The plant is so functional that he made him to actually influence a Chinese company there in the name of Linyi groups. They are operating. But unfortunately for us, he find that place suitable to bring in industrialists, which I mean, no problem about it. But yet, we, the indigenous, the inhabitants of that region, we are in darkness. He has done nothing about it so far. We have tried to plead with him, nothing up to today. We have taken the case to the highest level, the minister, the vice president. They have intervened. The federal government have done their best. Just a little political will from the government. To us from the Southern Senatorial District, it looks like to us that we must have specially offended Mr. Government.
Okay.
That is why we believe that we must take our turn, particularly now that he has not performed creditably well.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to Edo State as a kind of a yardstick to measure other states in Nigeria right now, Governor Obaseki, why he was re-elected for a second term is because of his performances in the first term. That is why the masses stood beside him and ensured that they voted for him. And they also defended their vote because of his reputable governance in the state for the past 4 years.
Until recently, it is also on record that our governor has not been on a very good political relationship with Tinubu. And I have
Oh,
no evidence as I talk to you. I have no evidence as I talk to you that Tinubu has brought in any level of godfatherism into election of Ondo State. I want to believe that it's a sheer coincidence that the APC has nominated the governor of Lagos State to head the electoral team, which is what they do from time to time. Other parties to what to select governors from other states to head. So I have no evidence on
okay.
ground to show that Tinubu has brought in any godfatherism or had made any broadcast as he did in Edo.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
that is by the way. The people of Ondo State have made up their mind. Like I told you earlier, the incumbent governor has actually constitutional right to contest for second time, but because he has done poorly, absolutely poor, and that is why we are trying to vote him out. And come Saturday, he will be voted out. We are firmly on ground. We are determined, and we are going to protect our votes. And like I said earlier, we call on federal government, we call on all the security apparatus to please provide for us a level playing ground. We want INEC to be above board in this election. We don't want any federal mind. We want the will of the people of Ondo State to prevail.
Interesting. Interesting. The Edo election, there were many international observers. So are people also expecting such in this upcoming election in Ondo State?
Yes,
International.
naturally, the international observers and NGOs usually come in for every election. We expect them to be here. I want to believe that as I talk with you, accreditations are ongoing and they will be here. And after then, I know that they are also going to file their reports. We expect the same thing that happened in Edo to happen in Ondo State come Saturday. Yes, we are expecting the international observers. We are expecting the local observers. And we are expecting all other people of goodwill to come to Ondo State and monitor our elections so that we can have a level playing ground and we can have a free and fair election. With that, we are confident that Governor Keredolu will be sacked on Saturday.
Oh Lord, have mercy. This is so interesting. Honestly, the elections in Nigeria is not always very, peaceful. I don't know why. I don't know why. And right now, people are saying that APC might not allow Ondo to go because they just lost those states, that they might use the federal might to suppress other political parties in the states. Mm.
Well, like I said to you earlier,
Mm.
I am a former honorable member of the House. I
Yes,
am
sir.
honorable by all standard. As I talk to you right now, I have no evidence. I have nothing on my desk. I have no evidence to show that federal government is preparing to use federal might. I do not expect the federal government to play double standard. If they have maintained a particular level playing ground in a particular system in Edo, I expect them to maintain the same thing in Ondo State. I will not tell lie. I will not stand here and tell lie for this moment because I have no evidence. We're still
Mm.
pleading with them to maintain that independence, that leadership, and they must allow nationalistic tendencies to prevail over party interests. That is what we are asking from them. But right now, I have no evidence.
Okay, there's an allegation of corruption by the governor, the incumbent governor, and his son, the embezzlement of 4.3 billion naira. Hello, hello.
Well, the figure actually might not be 4.3 billion naira.
Mm.
As far as I'm concerned, I the 4.3 billion naira that was left in Zenith Bank,
Mm.
I've forgotten the bank now, but I want to believe one of these banks in Nigeria, span across two governments. The money was kept there from Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo's government that terminated in 2009. And then Governor Mimiko also spent 8 years and the money was there. And we were told that the government of Governor Akeredolu stumbled on that money, 4.3 billion naira. Initially, we were told that the money was not appropriated, but later on, from reports we received, we discovered that yes, the money though was not disclosed, but it was actually brought in as an IGR and it was appropriated in one of the past budgets. But the issue in contention here is that that money can never be regarded as an IGR. It is a money that was fixed from the federal allocation. And therefore, to divert the money to the agency that is collecting an IGR and paying them a whooping 10% of that sum is what I consider as fraud. And I know by the special grace of God, either now or in future, whoever have taken our money will be made to refund it back to the coffin. It is unheard of that money that has been placed since 2000, since 2009 will now be regarded as an IGR in 2020. It is an affront. It is unacceptable to the principle of accountability to anyone who have treated that money as an IGR. So if you ask me, the provable figure of fraud in that transaction is the sum of 430 million naira that was purportedly paid to an agent that is responsible for the IGR. It has
Oh,
also
okay, yeah.
been said, an allegation has been said that the governor's son is actually the principal person who either brought the company, the IGR firm,
Mm.
or that he has significant interest in that. But whoever to return our 430 million naira. And it's also beat me hard. While an amount of that volume will be kept in the bank for all these years, and you tell us that the account is dormant. At the appropriate time, we are going to approach Central Bank of Nigeria to actually interpret to us, to tell us how a 4.3 billion naira whooping sum of our income would be regarded as dormant. At the appropriate time, too, I expect that the bank who had kept silence over this money will be called to order to account and pay us our outstanding interest. The other striking aspect of that shoddy transaction is that the former uh, commissioner for finance during the period that money was fixed is also a popular figure in the APC today. His successor, the parts who took over from him as the Commissioner of Finance, is also presently the Commissioner of Finance. It is sad and unbelievable that from both of them jointly an active member of APC and a very close associate of this government, how this money got to the bank and what was the condition for it, whether it was fixed, whether it was just being run as a current account. And like I said earlier, for a bank to keep that whooping amount of money in his treasury, in his tilt, trading and working with it over these years, and telling us that there is no interest, you will agree with me that that is a very showy. I hate to believe that somebody
Okay.
somewhere has been collecting money
Yeah.
attributable to
Okay.
those states in all these years.
Okay, it's the interest that they are talking about, not the actual fund, which is the 4.3 billion naira. Okay, yeah, I understand that. It's a kind of a propaganda. During election period like this, you hear different stories trying to discredit each other.
We are shocked. We are shocked. Though Ondo State is part of the 9 NDDC member oil producing states in Nigeria, as a matter of fact, we are number 5 in the oil producing list. Yet we are not as rich as a state that would have ordinarily abandoned 4.3 billion naira in a bank account for all this while. And that is why I said I smell a rat. I just don't want to believe that somebody somewhere over these years have been collecting their accruable interest. And I expected the government. And that is why, again, the failure of leadership. I expected the government and his team to have put up a panel of inquiry to look into the source and why this money has been abandoned in the bank account. Up to this very moment, the governor and his team and his cabinet has not lived up to the expectation. They have failed to provide us leadership in protecting our interests. They have failed to dig into who has been taking our money. And I am not surprised if such amount of money could be regarded as an IGR. That in itself will tell you that the government have more than a passing interest in that money.
The incumbent governor of Ondo State, he's paying his deputy 13 million naira every month. So people were outraged, Nigerians were outraged over that huge amount of money that how can a deputy be receiving 13 million naira monthly while many Nigerians are living in destitute in the country.
Well, the governor did not say he was paying the deputy governor, but he said he was paying the office of the deputy governor a running grant of 13 million naira. And every official in Nigeria maintains a running grant. But what I do not understand, and which I wrote about recently, if the governor can come out to tell us that he's paying the office of the deputy governor 13 million naira, he could have said, come all out to tell us how much his office is receiving as a running grant. It is also a known fact that which is the governor of Ondo State collecting security fund, that he could only talk about 13 million naira for the office of the deputy governor, which is a running ground. Don't forget that the deputy governor as a person is not the only star in that office. 30 million naira may sound very huge, but for the running per month of the office of the deputy governor, it's actually a patronage. For some of us who are involved in politics, we find it very, very unbelievable that what the deputy governor is receiving to run his office. In that office, we have staffs. We have to fuel his vehicles, goods up and down, so many other things. As a matter of fact, such money are always accounted for on various accounting heads. So my grounds and my question is, when will the governor tell us how much the running ground for his own office is, how much is the security vote for his office? We are interested.
Interesting. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think tomorrow I'll bring you back to the show in the evening, the same time tomorrow. Will you be available to join us and give us any latest about Ondo State election.
Thank you very much. And let me thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be your guest. I'll be waiting for you tomorrow to shed more light. By then, I hope that the violence, the unnecessary violence in the state would have been brought
Mm,
under control.
mm,
And please, through your medium,
mm.
let the world know that there's going to be a state election somewhere in Ondo State tomorrow in Nigeria. We want them to show interest. Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Talk to you
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.
Thank you.